not a good idea. All right, so let's get into it. I trust everybody is having a great rest of your day or a great day so far. It is June 8th. June 8th. My goodness. Time is flying, isn't it? So let me get to my screen here. We're gonna get it going and then we'll fire it off. So again, I trust everybody is having a great rest of the day as we kick off our stakeholder meeting. So let's go ahead and get it going. We were going to play this video, and we will still. Let's do it. Yeah. You can't hear it? I can't hear it either. Yeah, it's a KWRI video. So Keller Williams Realty International. Oh, you know why? It's probably audio setup here. And it's on, right? It's funny. It was literally just working. Is somebody else? I hear an echo.
You hear an echo? It's not mine.
Whoever's, yeah. Can we make sure there's. All right, while we're figuring that out. Let's play it just to see. It's interesting. All right, we'll move on, and then we'll come back to that. Anyway. All right. So happy birthday to our June birthday folks. Man, a lot of great people celebrating birthdays this month. I know Brantley had a birthday yesterday, Jenny, Sherry. So happy birthday, everybody, for the month of June. We're wishing you well and a lot of great time with your families, and a lot of great work anniversaries here. I felt like I was on this last month, huh? So, or maybe it's this month, who knows? Well, we got that going. So work anniversaries, congratulations. And then newcomers, welcome, Tony, Cameron. We have some newcomers here, new additions, great job. Oh, huh? Oh, anniversary date? Oh, I got you. Oh yeah, that's right. We reset. So that's good. So let me go back to that. So congratulations to everybody who is celebrating a work anniversary. So great job. Let's get right into it. So congratulations, folks who've been able to cap on royalty. Adriana, Mercedes, William, Jenny, Leah, and Cindy. So congratulations on from our royalty cappers. Way to go. Good job. And everybody who got paid between the 26th and the 7th. Look at all these folks who are cashing checks. Congratulations, everyone, for having a great start to June. And we're on a roll, so great job. And here we are in our numbers. So when we look at how the office is doing, the state of the office, as well as a comparison of how we are year to date, year over year. Again, I would make sure that we know our numbers. We have an idea of how we're doing, what's going on, what's working, and what's not working. So closed units, you were at negative 0.8. It's about 1%. So we're kind of right on the mark of where we were last year at this time. However, May over 2022 over 2021, we increased our production by 35%. Actually, June was May. May was the best month of May that we've ever had over the 10 years we've been in business here. So congratulations for everyone who had a contribution towards that. And then the big thing though that I would say as we're looking at our year-to-date numbers as an office is be very careful that we don't get complacent around our average price points, because yes, prices are up, which can give us a false sense of reality around how we're actually doing. Our top agents, our top people, top market centers are focusing on the closed units, not necessarily focusing on the volume or the GCI. So where are you and how are you doing in relation to yourself, closed transactions month over month and year over year? So as an office, we're hanging put, we're staying put with where we've been and how we're showing up, and yet we can do better in working towards pacing ahead. Now, the way that we know how we're going to do in the future is that us paying attention to our listings taken. So our listings taken, you can see the correlation between the difference between the units of listings that we've taken and the volume. So you see year to date, year over year, our listings taken volume is up 28%, which is great. We'll take it. And our units are down or behind -3%. So we've got opportunity here to make sure that if we want to stay at pace or ahead of pace of where we are in terms of our listings taken. So we're a heavier buyer side office. We do more buyer side transactions just by osmosis. We want to focus more attention to our seller listings taken. By the way, question for those of you who've been watching the market, are listings up or down year over year? They're up. Anybody else agree with that? They're up. So you see, though, we're down -3%. We're not keeping up with the pace of the market. So which tells me we're not having enough seller conversations and homeowner conversations about what's going on. Just by osmosis, just by natural, we should be increasing our listings inventory the same way that the market is. Would y'all agree with that? So let's be paying attention to that opportunity here of more seller listings coming to the market and making sure that we're at least keeping pace with our seller listing. Is that fair? Good? All right. So here's some of the numbers that we just alluded to. Best May ever in terms of closed units, 34.8% over last May. Question, how did you do? When you're looking at these numbers and you're seeing yourself here, how are you doing in relation to your business year to date, year over year, month over month? We want to know those conversations. So your trend line is the market center, the office. Are you above that trend line or are you behind that trend line? So on average, agents cumulatively within our brokerage, the gross commission income is up 16%. Is your gross commission income at least up 16% year over year compared to last year? If not, then obviously we need to have a conversation, whether it be coaching, consulting, we've got training events. So when you look at these numbers and you see, all right, everybody who's been paid, everybody who's been closing, take that for what it is and figure out what in our training calendar that you can plug into that would give us the best chance to give us and arm us with more information to go out there and help more people make great decisions at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. Okay. So with that, again, these are where we get these numbers from, listings taken. So listings taken volume year over year, up 20%. We just saw these numbers. Again, best listing sold volume, May, 50% compared to what we did last year in May in closed listing volume. Great job. Contract volume. And again, closed gross commission income, we had the best May that we've ever had as an office ever, which says a lot. And also we take that with a grain of salt because prices are up. So let's not let it go to our heads. Let's continue to do and focus on the process and the activities. So with that being said, James, what's up, man? Let's welcome up James and show him some love. We're going to interview a rising star right now. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. You want to be like James? Yeah. Oh, we got the whole squad goals. All right. He's grabbing a chair and everything. It's good. Yeah, go ahead. Go. No, we're right here. We're right here. So hold this. This is you. So when did you join the office? October 2020.
I think it was October 12th, 2020.
quite a moment in time to join the office, by the way. 2020, man, you got great timing, James. So getting yourself up and running and getting started. Uh, what's been your learning curve like? I mean, what are some of the if you were to tell and talk to brand new agents coming in, what would be some of the things that you would say to a brand new agent today?
I think one of the things is understanding the shift from 8 to 5 to or 9 to 5 to entrepreneur, and it's different. And when you're working in 8 to 5, you put in your 8 hours or whatever your schedule is, and then at the end of the week you make X amount of money. And real estate isn't that way. It's you got to really, it's different. It's just different. Setting your own schedule and kind of trying to, especially when you're first starting, is getting your name out there, letting your sphere, letting the people that you're an agent and that you made this change. That was, if I were to do it again, I would have made that done that a little earlier. I was a little slow with getting that out to my sphere.
Yeah, I hear that. And so not being a secret agent, right? Don't hide behind maybe what you have done in the past, getting out in the forefront and having those conversations accordingly. Anything else that you've picked up that you would say?
I would say definitely to do that, I would say the best tip is just social media. I was a little slow with it because I wanted everything to be perfect, and what I've learned is it doesn't have to be perfect, especially when you're first starting out. Just get out there, get in the habit of doing video or just sharing your day, sharing showing houses, just sharing that you're out there and that's a simple, even if you don't have a listing yet or you don't have just share that you're doing something, just share that transition.
You're out in the field.
Yeah.
You're out there, you're doing it, you're making it work, you're learning, you're growing. The thing about real estate that's interesting that most agents don't piece together, what did you do before real estate?
I was a project coordinator.
All right, so then is it safe to say that most people know you as a project coordinator, right, in the past getting started? And so now over time, you've had to help make sure people are seeing you as the agent, real estate agent now, because when in doubt, like we're working to get that mind share for people. And when in doubt, if they don't know who to go to, they're not going to go to you, right? There's a law of emotional proximity, and you choose to write this down or you choose not to. It's people are going to do business with the people who are closest to them, physically or emotionally at the time in which they're ready to transact. Right? People are going to do business with anyone who's closest to them, emotionally or physically, at the time in which they're ready to transact. People aren't thinking about real estate agents until they need one. People aren't thinking about dentists until they need one. People aren't thinking about that professional or practitioner until they need one. And so are you the one who's in their email inbox or who may have just called or text, who may have just said something, right, to them, and then they're like, you know what, James was just over here. Let me go ahead and reach out to them. Let me reach out to James because he was just telling me about the market. That's why it's constant and never ending follow up. And the biggest Achilles heel to agents, I've interviewed as a team leader in the past, I've interviewed over 1,000 agents over 3 years of having conversations with agents full time. And most agents have the fallacy that when my clients are ready, they will do what? They'll call me. That's not how it happens. Know why? Because there's a guy like James, or there's a guy like James or Jason, right? Who is at the door, who's at the email, who's on the phone, chipping away and building relationships. And before you know it, hey, you know what? Jason was just over here, or James was just over here. Let me give him a call. And then they walk by the refrigerator magnet with the 8 other agent that just maybe stopped by 6 months ago and gave him a refrigerator magnet and says, all right, well, let me pick up the phone and call so-and-so. How many of you have ever been in a home to take a listing and you walk by the agent on the refrigerator, right? Or you're using another agent's pen to take a listing? It's the same concept. We don't quit. We continue to follow up. And I love what you said about video. That's why, right? There's a stat out there. 73% of sellers are more likely to work with an agent who uses video. That's why we have a focus and a partnership with our video crew here. Obviously, you see the setup here. That's why we're embracing video at such a high level. Cool. So come on, James. Look what you're doing over here. You got a lot of great things. Let's show off some of your numbers. So look at some of your numbers, and obviously you're in great company. And so if my thing works, there we go. Okay, so closed units over year to date, year over year, you're up 122%. Is the market up 122%? No. James is. Great job. Right? Is your volume and units. So your volume is up 318% compared to 2021 versus 2022. Congratulations. And the where it matters the most, the gross commission in the pocket, 400% increase compared to 2021 versus 2022. So congratulations, James, on everything that you're doing. And what would you like to see for yourself and the team for the near future on how are you going to continue to keep this momentum up?
I mean, well, one thing we're working on, like everyone needs to prioritizing sellers, trying to find ways to reach out to them. Like I said already, video. I mean, I think one thing I didn't say earlier is one thing I would have done earlier too. When I first started, I would have joined a team just for having the camaraderie. It's really good to have people that you can learn from, grow together, especially when you're starting new. But I think to keep this momentum is just, whatever you're doing, however you're marketing, whether it be door knocking, whether you're doing social media, whether you're doing just keep that momentum up. And that's what we're trying to do. It's just whatever. Me personally, I'm doing social media and I'm doing a lot of getting involved with chamber and some of the networking events here, and just getting to know people. I think the big thing we're focusing on right now is that real estate is the long game. Just keep building that relationship, keep staying, like you said, staying in front of people, and when they're ready, they come to you.
Yeah. And don't take it for granted, right? I believe for the reason that I mentioned earlier, the law of emotional proximity, everybody's database, everybody's contact list is up for grabs. Just because they know you, they went to school with you, your kids went to school together, that doesn't mean that they're going to use you. Let's not take this for granted. Real estate is a combat, right? Technical, it's like judo, if you will, right? When it comes to business, you've got to be very in it. You've got to be intertwined with it. You've got to be like for those of you in this room, am I right? This is like it changes on a constant and never-ending basis. If you're not showing up and aware of what's going on, you could very easily get out of the loop. Is that right? We've got to be here and be present. And so thank you for being willing to be present and what you do. And congratulations on all your success. All right. Let's give Jay some love, man. Round of applause. You can shake my hand again too. What happens now? You give me the mic back or? Great job, James. So as we continue to go, and again, our intention is for us to tee up training that you can utilize and make sure that you're growing growing towards that, right? And so that's what we're working on, and setting that up for you. So when it comes down to our training, give me a second. We got some training coming up here. Let me give you a quick heads up about what we got coming up on the calendar. And then I know Team Fusion's been working really hard, and congratulations on overall for the team on what you guys have been doing. We'll be talking to you guys here pretty soon, so stay tuned. We're waiting for the next quarter to end because I know you guys some things in the pipeline. We'll talk to the whole team. Anthony, Greg, all the guys. So, question, pop quiz. In a shift, market shift from the book shift. For those of you, I know you probably got it open on your desk right now. What 2 actions must real estate agents take ownership of in a market shift and all the time? However, what 2 actions should real estate agents take ownership of? 2 actions in your business that you should be taking ownership of. What would you say? 2 actions. What 2 actions should real estate agents be taking ownership of? Lead generation, ding, ding, ding. That's one. You don't count though, however. Right? What will be the second one? Lead generation 1. What will be the second one? I'll take it. It's not quite the answer, but because you're David, I'll take it. Bonus answer. Lead conversion. We may spend a lot of time, and if you're anything like me as an agent, we've gone back and forth between generating leads and looking for new people. And then we spend time doing lead follow-up and we forget about lead generation. It's a both. We want to, it's a balancing act. We go out and find new people every day, and then we go out and follow up with the people who say, call me back every day. Astonishing stat. 50% of lead inquiries, people who said, hey, Jazz, can you help me with buying a home? Hey, James, can you help me with selling my property? 50% of those lead inquiries go unanswered. So theoretically, 50% of you right now in the audience won't respond to a lead if somebody said, hey, can you help me with more information on 123 Main Street? That's across the industry. Anyone get a little peeved at that stat? And that's the opportunity. So should we prioritize lead follow-up? We're going to be ahead of the curve and be ahead of our competition, bar none. All right, we're going to switch gears. Sandy, are you there? What's up, Sandy?
Yes, I am. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
I just wanted to give you guys a quick compliance tip for the day. Actually, it's a recap on one that we had done previously that we just want to give a reminder of because we've had some challenges on our compliance files with regards to the FERPTA and the QS. So I've got a couple of slides to share with you that explains this further. And basically, the FERPTA, which is the Seller's Affidavit of Non-Foreign Status, is a form that if it's just signed and not filled out, you are then indicating you're providing a QS, which is a qualified substitute. So I just wanted to clarify that just by having the seller sign a FERPTA, you'll still need to provide a qualified substitute. So, which is a different form. It is actually, it has to be filled out either by escrow or title or an attorney. And then once it's filled out, it's actually then signed by the buyer. However, if you do use the seller's affidavit form, that's the FERPTA form we were referring to, and you mark the box, there's first in the first item number 3. I'm sorry, we haven't gotten the slide up yet. Brian, do we have that slide or not really?
Let's see. Give me a second. When in doubt, keep going.
And I'll keep talking. So there's basically 2 essential parts to the FERPTA form. The first part is that the individual or the corporation or entity is marking if they're exempt from a tax withholding. And it's critical that we have these items for the file because there could be a tax withholding that's required, and that needs to be completed prior to closing. So if you're representing the buyer, it's actually the buyer's responsibility to make sure that withholding is done in escrow. So this form is extremely important, and that's why I'm again kind of going over it to make sure that we're clear on it. So again, there's 2 parts to the FERPTA form. The first part is indicating if there's an exemption, whether it's an individual or a corporation. And the second part is that if you mark the box, it indicates that you're going to complete the FERPTA form with the seller's social security, and that could then be used as satisfaction for this requirement. If that's not filled out with the individual's social security number or the entity's tax ID number, then you do need to use the QS. So I just want to clarify that if the FERPTA form is only signed and not filled out, it does not satisfy that requirement. It's only indicating that you're going to use then a QS form. So then we would need both forms in your file in order for it to get approved. So if you have any questions on that, you're welcome to reach out to me. Another thing I just wanted to go over again, which is our time frame for submitting files. for in command. You need to submit files as soon as you have signatures from either your listing contract, a fully executed purchase contract, or fully executed disclosures, and then also within 7 days prior to closing. So if you're a listing agent, that means you would have submitted 4 times during the escrow. If you're just a buyer's agent, you would be submitting 3 times. So we just want to make sure these files are DRE compliant before we close escrow. So I hope that helps for today. If you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks a lot and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Sandy. Give around, appreciate it. We will email out on our recap email today. We've been sending those out, those forms, so that way we can highlight what you were discussing about those. We didn't have it in the slide today. So thank you all. Thank you for what you do. All right, so going back to our slides here, 1 minute. Oops. Yes. So as we look at what's going on in the market center this month, so we've got some segment updates. We've got various segments in the office that we encourage you to participate in, whether it be around your interests. And the whole idea is it's around your interests. And so we first have our commercial team meeting, actually going to be meeting in July. We have luxury meeting, and it's going to be, I believe, on Zoom, the 30th at 1 p.m. Wealth building, we're meeting on the 15th at 11, and then leverage, I believe we have another date for that in July. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. So we have these leaders, reached out to them about any of your interests and or what's going on and anything that you may want to participate in or ideas that you may want to share with the group there around any of your interests there. So participate, jump in around any of the interests that you find that we're going to help you move your business forward. We also have, obviously, today video. So again, reminder, you got some flyers there on your desk, as well as obviously here, and we've emailed this out. For the cost of a business for a headshot, right, or cost for a headshot, you have access to a 60-second video here in our office, and so you can get actually if you decided to shoot 4 videos, you could actually get a price break on that. And so we've got scripts, we've got a teleprompter, obviously we've got the professional lights, we've got the people, and we've got the editors to help make this video make sense for you. And so the idea is, where can you go where you can get that high quality video and have something to share with your database on a regular basis and your social media. So it's optimized for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can get yourself out there and do it in a consistent manner. So if you chose to do 1 video a month that you can send out to your database and to your newsletter, it's for the cost of cutting your Starbucks down for 1 day, right? It's the same thing. You get that value, and then send it out to your people. So we've got some videos. We're going to send out some examples. I mean, Josh, how many videos did I shoot today? 6. So I knocked out 6 videos in like 30 minutes today. I'm a pro. However, you take your time and you'll get there one day. No, yet the goal is you come in here and knock them out, and then have fun with it, right? Show yourself. And then also social media support. So Josh, we're going to be talking here in a second, and we'll talk about why and what led to being able to offer this. And yet all of you are interested at some sort and some level optimizing your social media. So whether it be your business page, how to load videos, what kind of content is going to be the best type to use. Either way, you have now on-call social media support between the hours of 3 and 5, Monday through Friday. Just to shoot an email over to this email, support@shapermedia.com, and then you have set an appointment with somebody to help you walk through any of your social media needs, questions, and challenges. So I don't know how long it's been for us to get to this point. We've definitely been talking. We've been reiterating figuring out what's working, what's not working, how we can make this as simple, effective, and a no-brainer for you to utilize and add into your business. Because otherwise, what's your other option? So yes, Parvin. The name of the video company is Shaper Media. Market Shaper Media. It's the same company essentially. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. Great question. And we got our lovely training calendar. It's a lot, right? It's a lot going on, and we got more. The biggest one I'll tell you for this month is the 23rd. Make sure that you highlight that because we've invested to bring somebody out to talk to us about investing in real estate and the opportunities around that, using your license as a weapon to build your wealth, right? Why not? And the location will be here locally, right here on our training room, nice, intimate setting as well. With that, we have our tech updates as well. So anyone who's any issues with your tech or your marketing, you've got Scott Leroy, and then you also have our tech, our regional tech trainer, Ruben, who's sharing the best uses for Command and why to use Command as well. Also, this 13th June, compliance tips. More importantly, how to make sure you get paid and paid on time. A lot of times the market center gets a lot of blowback and pushback based off of, let's just say, maybe miscommunication around getting your checks paid out on time. And obviously the market center takes a lot of that blame or upfront. And yet I'm going to ask all of us to take ownership about our files and how we're running them to make sure that we all have DNA in it, right? Whether it be you, whether it be us, whether it be your TC, we've all got to communicate at a higher level to make sure that you're getting all the files in necessary to get you paid on time. And forget the money. Make sure that you're helping people and you're doing it and you're covering your behind, right? What does that? Cover your own CYOA? Cover your own assets, people, right? Cover your own assets. Make sure your paperwork is filed completely. And that's why we're really putting a lot of attention on the compliance side of things, because we want to make sure that the brokerage is protected, your licenses are protected, and your clients are protected overall. So let's not just speed through paperwork like it's just, something to do. It matters. So that's why we have sort of sessions like this. So if markets reaches out, a lot of times they're going to reach out to Command. Make sure that you're responding and looking at your Command updates when you get your files submitted. You may not be doing it. That's why a lot of you are tuning out right now. However, if you're your TC, if it's your TC, make sure your TC knows to go back in after 48 hours or so once your files are uploaded. So communicate that with your TCs and help everybody win and get paid on time. Cool. All right. KW Vision Heart Fund. Amy, do you want to talk about that? Let's welcome up Amy. Let's give her a round of applause.
So we need to build that part up. Our collective on that through your post. There's a form. We'll be doing more and more fundraisers. One of the things that's coming up is Deb from Tri Valley has put together a bingo night, and the proceeds for that will go to the.
Sorry, it's a micro. Yeah, it should be on. One more time. The other way. Yeah, go for it. Should be good. Good. Yep. When in doubt, just keep going.
So anyway, just want to bring your attention to that and support each other the best that we can. And this is one of the ways that we can do that. So the Heart Fund.
So the Heart Fund.
Yeah.
As a summary, one more time, what is it?
It is the local KW Cares Fund. So as a market center, we have to come up with 20% of the total asked amount for a KW Cares grant. We collect that from our agents and our staff and everyone, from raffles, from different types of things, so that we have that fund built up so that we can make sure we get those grants to people in a timely manner.
Yeah, and thank you for that, Amy. And Keller Williams International, and we hear a lot about KW Cares. They won't contribute unless the market center has contributed a certain amount. And so our office, these are the little things that we can do to make sure that our office can contribute in the event, of any unfavorable circumstances occur. So why not? And then you're doing a class on how to get paid quickly, June 9th. That's tomorrow, 11 a.m. Right, awesome. And then we've got that bingo night that you mentioned. So again, this is what we're gonna do. We're raising money for that. So when's the last time anybody played bingo? Besides David, I know he's playing bingo every Thursday. Right, it's a pastime. You're a bingo athlete. Yeah. Right. So we're gonna play bingo. Why not? It'll be interesting. Take me back. Take all of us back, huh? And then so staying out of court. Woo! All right. Most exciting class that we can bring, right, with Robert Brand, how to stay out of court on your transactions. So this is going to be in person as well as over Zoom in our market center here. And we're going to talk about transfer disclosure statements, AVIDs, AVIDs, right, agent visual inspection disclosures and other disclosures, as well as a new RPA. Again, some of the things that you just want to know, and we might even take for granted. So if you're brand new, or you're experienced, you've been in it forever, again, just a quick way to remind ourselves on how to make sure we're staying out of court. So that's a big class. Thank you for being willing to participate on that. And then 5 common mistakes on how to complete online disclosures. Fill in the blank. Hey, Sandy, what are we talking about here?
Yes, that's actually, it's a class on disclosures. It's going over 5 common mistakes that we run into on disclosures, and also how to complete disclosures online for your client.
Okay.
So there is a way that you can do that with your client online, and I'll be going over how you can do that.
Love that. Thank you. Bringing so much value. Appreciate you, Sandy, our compliance team. This was what I'm talking about, the date, June 23rd, 9 a.m. to 3 o'clock. Most important thing, there will be lunch. Second most important thing is that we're talking about wealth building through investing in real estate. So put this in your calendar. Jake, this gentleman not only has a top producing team in KW, I'm talking about a couple hundred transactions per year, also owns multiple offices. He also owns about 61 rental properties. So does a little bit. By the way, he started building this, got it up to like 45, and then took about 3 or 4 years off building his rental portfolio. And one of the things that he mentions is one of his biggest regrets is not continuing to buy. So now he's back on that. And actually, he's on escrow or in escrow for a 20 unit building right now. And also he bought a phenomenal rental property in Colorado. I mean, I don't say close to Aspen. That property alone generates about $180,000 a year in income, while allowing him to use it for vacation for his family. So again, these are the things that we all are doing, are loving to do. Why wouldn't we participate? And guess what? Cost of admission, nothing. You just show up. We've invested on that on your behalf. So these are the things that we can do when we're using our services, our in-house, and these are the things we're going to continue to do as well. So here's a quick little video with Jake, and he's going to be sharing a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today, or I'm sorry, over the session. So let me see if I can. And feel free to bring a realtor friend as well. Absolutely. Somebody that you know, anybody that you know that would be interested in learning a little bit more about investing in KW. So let's see this place. How's it going, everyone? Here, Brian Arahan, your operating partner at Keller Williams Vision or KW Chino Hills. Very excited to bring on a great guest. Welcoming him to our SoCal event coming up here, June 23rd. A great friend of mine, an even better mentor, exemplary bold coach, Jake. Jake, man, very excited to have this opportunity to share a little sneak peek about what we're going to be talking about on the 23rd and really understanding why our people should be there and ready to take notes and get their wigs flipped. Right. So, Jake, man, so, if you were to introduce yourself, who in the world is Jake G?
Well, first things first, thank you for the opportunity. Who is Jake G? I'm a regular guy that got involved in real estate and real estate investing. And what I like to tell people is it's slowly then suddenly. So this story started off not very sexy, to be real. We bought our first house out of foreclosure. It was about a $75,000 2-bed, 1-bath, 700 square foot, beautiful piece of property. And yet that's the start. Today, 13 years later, completely different story. And we've had the opportunity to mentor people through it. Who is Jake? Husband of 25 years, got 5 kids. Our oldest is 24. Our youngest is 12. So that's kind of our world. OPF2 Market Centers, Investor in 3, have a real estate team in Denver, have a property management company that we operate as well. As of today, we're at 62 properties and counting. We're under contract right now on a 20 unit apartment complex that we're working through, as well as a minority investor in 2 big apartment complexes.
Ooh, all right, man. Well, there's so many layers, man. It's like an onion. I look forward to peeling this thing back. This is just an intro call, so I'm using as much willpower as I can right now to stay on script because I've got a lot of questions already brewing. So, what led you down this path, Jake, of being an investor? Obviously, you're a successful agent, started as a great agent. Build a phenomenal team. I believe your team is in the top in the country. And then from there, you got the bug to invest. So, what in the world led you down this path? Why not focus on continuing to increase your cash flow for your team? So how does that show up in your world?
So I actually call myself an accidental realtor. We started investing before I got into real estate, looked at it and said, hey, it only makes sense. That was the next step. Long story short, what got us involved? I like to tell people there's 2 sides of the story, right? There's 2 sides of that coin. And when you look at the first side, we tend to push against it. And we had some financial challenges back in 2004. Near bankruptcy. It wasn't pretty. And I'll tell you the rest of the story as we get into the class. And yet what I realized is I love to build. I love to build businesses, love to build things. I also understand that there's risks involved. And as you just heard, I've got a bunch of kids and a great wife who supports it. And when you turn that coin, what we learned from that experience was if I could take what we learned, find a way to create passive income so my family didn't have to worry about living the lifestyle they live, paying the bills, it would allow me to continue to do what I love, which was build businesses without putting those pieces at risk.
Oh wow, I love that, man. Beautiful, and I love the why behind it, obviously, and we see a lot. It's all about your environment and making sure you're in alignment with your environment, and it sounds like you're there. Your whole family supporting what you're doing, and as a result, and I think you also have some really great stories about how your kids are living that bold lifestyle and your family overall as a result of everything that you've been learning as a phenomenal coach yourself. So, I'm to the moon about this content. So Jake, why in the world should an agent take, a few hours out of their busy day on the 23rd and show up to this event and really prioritize this? What should an agent expect from being with you on the 23rd?
It's like I said, it's slowly and then it's suddenly. Excuse me. People look at it and go, okay, hey, I love where you're at and I want to be there. And they forget that it's a journey. Yeah. And what starts that journey, and this is what we're going to cover in the class, is our opportunities to understand the why. What's the purpose behind why we desire this piece? As we connect the why, then we look at the myths, because we each have those limiting beliefs. We each have myths that we create around these opportunities. And how do we break through those myths? And then from there, one of the biggest myths is I don't have the money. And if I don't have the money, where can I find the money, or am I able to do the deal? So we're going to talk about how to put those deals together, even if you don't believe that you have the money, how to go through and really dive in and do the work to see if this investment is right for you based on your risk profile and tolerance. And then we're going to share a handful of different opportunities and ways that we can build out this portfolio, be it through real estate, through other real estate investments outside of single family homes and apartment complexes, and then how to build short-term immediate growth in wealth, and then how to maintain it so that you have long-term benefits and continue to pass that legacy on.
Whew. All right, Jake. Hey, man, I'm
Awesome.
grateful. I'm in tremendous gratitude for what you do. By the way, I mean, I still remember meeting you for the first time in my former office doing Bold, and it was a small room, tight room. It was hot. You know, we had maybe like 45 to 50 people cramped into a small little training room, and you know, you're squeezing in between the lanes and the aisles here, making your points, and I remember the energy, I remember the content, and I just remember the sincerity behind everything that you mentioned, and so thank you for what it is that you do, leading our group and leading and being a leader within our phenomenal company KW, and being willing to share your playbook, if you will, on how you build not only a great business as well as a great investment portfolio for yourself and your family. And so one thing that I would just encourage everyone to do is come with an open mind, because as we're talking about the investment thing, whether you feel like you've got the revenue, the income to invest or not, what ends up happening is you get bigger, better clarity around how much it takes in order for you to invest. Meaning, might it mean that you fine tune your listing presentation? It might mean that you fine tune your buyer presentation, you fine tune your schedule in order for you to earn enough to be able to have additional disposable or investable income or capital to build that portfolio. Or might it mean that you decide to sharpen your investor presentation to go out and attract partners to go out and invest with later on. So I know that we'll be talking about all of that, Jake. And at this point, hey, I'm just rambling because I just love having you on the screen here and being able to say that I know this guy. So thank you very much.
Dovetail quickly into what you just said. It's knowing the number, right? And how do we build towards that number? We'll also help you determine that. It's different for each of us. And we'll help you to determine that and determine a process by which you get there. You know, one thing, Brian, you and I, we teach and we coach to is the purpose of business is to
fund that perfect life.
And the reality is this: the purpose of business is to create profit, because the profit that's created from your business actually funds that perfect life.
Yeah. Yep. And the idea of that, the reason for that perfect life is to truly live before we pass and we're not around, and offer that legacy worth leaving, right? So, man, I mean, we can have Bold right now, Jake. What happens when you get two Bold coaches together in a Zoom? Bold will show up. All right, Jake, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Everyone, look out for our Eventbrite link, June 23rd, in our training room, and we're gonna have.
All right, so there you have it. So register for that. Feel free to share with some agents that you know of who would love to be a part of that conversation and utilize it, right? So it's going to be awesome. I know Jake, and I know the sincerity and the transparency in which he shares. So yeah, please do. Real quick, you know, some great reasons to jump into the regional tech training classes, because we got some updates here on what you can do in Command. So just some quick Command upgrades here recently. So on this particularly is just an easier way to import your contacts in Command. We also have designs for teams coming soon. So there's a lot of new integrations coming with Command here that we can utilize for our businesses. So just as a reminder for us to check that out. So, and by the way, some more updates on just, you know, overall what Command can do. The little micro site that'll tell you all the different things that are going on. And we got National Home Ownership Month. Today begins, June begins the start of the home selling season. We can say after COVID that as COVID's come to an end, that we're back to regular seasonality. And so what are the hottest months? If somebody would ask you, when do most people transact in real estate? What would you say? Spring, summer, right? So June, July, August are the hottest months in real estate overall, or the hottest 3 months. And so June starts that. So keep your eyes, ears open because a lot of the people are moving. Why is it that people are typically moving during these times? What would you say? Kids out of school. If you're going to move your kids, you're going to move them now because they're not tethered to a teacher. So let's move them. And that's why people are moving today. And so let's take advantage of those opportunities right now. Kids, parents moving their kids to different school districts, etc. So some updates there on our home ownership month. And then your first home book. This is a really cool book that you can give to your buyers. Just share with them about the benefits of home ownership. So later on, we can send this out if you wanted to scan that and get access to it. You can, all the above. So look out too in designs. We got some social updates or design updates that you can use to post as well in your social media. Keller Mortgage, quick updates. We've got a few different programs with Keller Mortgage. You can get access to this by going to, I believe it's kellermortgage.kw.com. If you want to take a look at some of the best practices of what you can do here. Quick little franchise update. Keller Williams is ranked as a recession-proof franchise. That's pretty cool. Franchise Business Review 2022. A lot of that has to do with our training, like Mega Camp. So Mega Camp 23rd, 24th, you can buy online as well as be there in person. Okay. So we're going to get into our conversation today. And a quick reminder about our diversity, equity, and inclusion track. There's actually a certification that Keller Williams is offering. In order for you to get access to that, you've got to hit the color of real estate class. That just passed. And then the unconscious bias in real estate class. All on KW Connect. You can go back and watch the recording as well as participate in the live session as well. So take a look at that. All right. So let's go ahead and get into our interview for today. Let's talk video, shall we? So let's go ahead and welcome up Josh. What's going on, Josh? Come on up. Let's give Josh a round of applause. And Josh, you want to grab a chair real quick, good sir? Nah, I like to stand. I'll be like the shrink, and you can be the patient. So you're on my couch, man. 1 minute. Let me figure out how to get the little background. Yes, a quick second. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, that's why I got the little extra earpiece in my ear. Not because I'm multitasking, it's because I want to make sure that the audio is good. Okay, so let's figure out. Oh, let me just turn off here. No, you're good. You're good. See, it's not often we get the video guy in front of the camera. So, how you feeling, Josh? Good. Oh, let me get on this side. So, it's been a while. We've been working together for a while. A couple years now. A couple years, and one of the things that I knew that was important earlier on is personally video. If you go back to my social media, you've been seeing me do video for a while, and I actually like 6 years ago I saw a video that I shot, and it was terrible. It was the worst video, and usually I look at it and I'm like, who recorded this guy? And then it was just bad. Lighting was terrible. My script, I wasn't sure what I was saying, and it was just horrible. Now that I look at the stuff that we're doing today, I'm like, man, however, you got to start somewhere. And so a lot of the conversation today, it has been over the years, have been, how could we create a program that would make it easy and efficient for other agents to participate in, knowing that everything that we've been working on the front end. So as you look at, video and the necessity right now as for particularly our industry agents, because you've been working with some agents for some time, why should an agent be using video today moving forward? And if you look at the real estate industry moving forward and how clients pick their agents, how big of a part does video play in that?
Yeah, huge.
right? I think we've all heard it in different ways, in various ways, right? This is a relationship. The reality is, you know, we're always, our real estate agents, right, understandably, are always looking for ways to, how do I build relationships with people that not only with, but really depth. And I think what video is just doing a really good job at is it helps build that, you know, that personal connection. You know, I like an expression someone else used is that, you know, this time with video is really about parasocial relationships too. You know, so as an example, you know, I watch a chiropractor in Texas, you know, and I've never met him, but because the number of videos that I've watched of him, if I did meet him, it would almost feel like, oh, I know you. And so really, and if he was in California and my back was hurting, right, he would be top of mind. And so I think really, as we've been talking about, is creating that infrastructure to make it easy for real estate agents. I think too, this is important context, so that, because sometimes when one think of video or working with a video team, right, we kind of have a normal idea of what a video team does. Oh, okay, they're going to come, they're going to shoot it, boom, that's it. But I think this is important is, so for 3 years, I had the nice opportunity to work for Netflix. And where this whole media thing spurred from was a lot of celebrities would come through. And what's interesting is we started noticing a trend that celebrities would come in with their own personal production team. And I remember talking to one of the persons on the team, and I was just curious, like, what do you guys do? Like, you guys are tagging along. And I like what they said. It was like, he said, we're really like almost like a personal trainer when it comes to video. So this way the celebrity could just like show up or just do whatever. And then what happens is the team, the personal team would, all right, here's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. And then as they're going, it's like a director's there too, like, that really did it. Let's do it this way. This works better on this platform. Right. Okay. And then all the work for the celebrity, right? So basically the celebrity just pops up, performs. Okay, I'm done, move on. And as me and you have been talking over the years, is like, how do we come up with an infrastructure that really gives that same level of service to the local agent, right? And so I think that that's what we're excited about with this pilot program here in this office, is that it's really not just about coming here and like pressing record and then a video and then you're done. No, it's coming here. Hey, here's 30 topics that are doing well right now.
Trending.
Yeah, trending topics. Here's what's working on YouTube. Here's what's working on TikTok. Here's what's working on Instagram Reels, right? Little things that while you all are focused on your business, okay, right? You have a team that's really your personal trainer, so to speak, right? Just like the celebrity treatment to let you know what's up to date. As an example, let me give it just a brief example. Just a couple days ago, Instagram Reels went from 60-second video to 90-second, right? You know, you look at, you know, little updates like that. You look at what's optimized well, is the 10-second video, the trending sounds and all that. And no doubt there are agents that know that and are doing a good job doing that on their own. But the reality is, and we know this from working just with a variety of agents, not everyone has that comfortability and even the tech savviness to keep up with all of that. And so this program is really designed to be a convenient service to kind of give that celebrity treatment, you know, because some can do it on their own and thrive, and that's good. But I think there's a number of agents that could and want help.
Well, that's me. You know, being a millennial by birthright, I act and move as a baby boomer, right? And I can't stand social media. Frank with you, I have a love-hate relationship with it. And Josh has been pushing me for years now, going on years now on, hey, drop that content. Hey, let's get back in the lab. Let's record. And it's necessary. And you see, it's funny how there's a lot of meaning to what social media, how they label certain things. Facebook, your timeline. Literally, it's the things that are happening in your life as things are going on, and you can go back in time and see where somebody was at and what they're doing now, and feel like you're up to date with what's going on. I can't stand that. I personally like to go off the grid. That's my life. And although I'm up here, I'm the most private person about what's going on, what we're up to, because I can care less what you think. And yet, is that great for business today? No. So that's why I have that love-hate relationship with it, is because I know it's necessary, so we've got to use it. And at the same time, where's the boundary? And so if you're going to put something up, make sure it's substantive. It's that it's going to move your business forward. And a lot of agents, and I've coached agents on how they use their social media feed. And a lot of times if a consumer is looking at the feed and my question of myself and the agents is, can they tell what you're doing to put food on the table for your family? Because if they can't tell what you do or how you do it and why you do it, most likely it's not a good video. Most likely it's not a good idea to post that. However, there is an element to personality. So how do you work on that right there, the relationship between personal business? What would you advise? What have you seen on what is postable and what's not?
Yeah.
Not everything is postable, friends. Right? Not everything is postable. Don't do it.
Right. We've done a lot of research on it just because this is what we do. And what's interesting is, while there is no direct right or wrong answer, I think the principle that is extremely helpful for all of us to bear in mind is, when you think about your social media, you have to think about what is the promise, right, directly or indirectly, that you're giving to your audience, and are you delivering on that promise? So as you know, and here's why I say that, because while there might be some things that are not posted, you might see someone that's like all family and they're doing super well, okay, on social media, they're following and all that. So you might think, well, should I do that? The point is this, is that you have to think about, what is the promise that you're going to deliver? I know people that don't reply to any comments. I know people that don't do any of the family thing, and they're extremely successful, right? I know others that do a mixture, but I think the riches is in the details. It's in the nuances, right? And so I think that's another thing that as we work with different ones, we get an understanding of. It's not just about turning the camera on and recording. I mean, by chance, you can succeed doing that, right? But the reality is, it's good to have a holistic strategy, and so, are you trying to promise that you're an expert, in your target market? Do you have a bubbly personality and you want to showcase that? So then I think that would be, times where it would be appropriate. So I think it really depends on the person, but I think the principle, that I'm really trying to drive home is, what is the promise you're making? And is your content delivering on that promise? Because at the same time, I'll tell you where it didn't, where I've personally seen it hasn't worked, is when a page, not knowing, has become known to be like, oh, this is the go-to place for this information. And then that person posts their cat, or posts like, oh, we went on vacation. And then they're like, hey, why didn't that post do well? Because my friend, but see, because you have painted that picture that this is my go-to spot for knowledge, not your family. And so I think that's the key behind it. And consistently, I mean, I could name a number of case studies that really prove that true.
Well, so let's look at some of the content. And if you want to maybe even just walk through with us a little bit of what this person was going for and why. And we got some interesting perspectives here, some cool stuff that you've sent us to check out. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see that over your face. All right, perfect. There we go. All right, so then I'm going to share the screen. So let us know what's going on with this one here. Give me a second. All right. All right. By the way, we've all seen this, right? And felt that, right? When you show your client 35 homes and they decide to wait till next year.
No, but seriously, this would not happen, and here's why. We take the time to sit down with our buyers and do a really thorough needs analysis and consultation with them. We might be the ones to tell you, you need to wait a year. So it would be highly unlikely that we would get to 35 homes and our buyer would say, yeah, no, we're gonna hit the pause button. So while this does happen, and it's crushing to a lot of agents, in most cases it wouldn't happen to one of our clients. If we get to the point where we are showing you a lot of homes, we might hit the reset button and say, you know what, we need to sit back down and reassess what your goals are, because maybe now really isn't the right time. So that's my reaction to that one.
So hold on. You were saying. All right. So
Sorry. Yeah. So this here is a prime example of what I call buckets, right? I think that regardless whether you're doing it on your own or you're doing it with us, you know, a proven strategy is having buckets of content. Knowing that, okay, this is a realtor reacts as an example. And so this isn't something an agent would do every single time, but maybe it's one of 4 buckets, right? And here's why I like these, because it's an opportunity, you know, depending on the personality of the agent, it's an opportunity to show one's personality. You know, Oriana, you know, as an example, that I work with, you know, early on, there was a little discomfort to get in front of the camera and to do these kind of things at first. But the more and more that we did this, and here's a prime example of she came, we brought everything for her, right? We're like, okay, we're going to show you 5 videos. Here's the gist of them. We want you to react to them. And I think that's the nice thing about having a team, like your personal training team, is because you get as many takes as you want. There's no pressure, right? And everything is teed up for you, right? And so this is what, again, we would call the bucket of reactions. And as we know, right, anybody who's spent any time on social media, reactions in general just do well across the board.
So why is it shot? And I notice it's vertical.
Yep.
Why is it optimized in this way?
Yep.
What channel and why are you hitting that channel?
So that specifically, right, is for YouTube Shorts, Reels, and TikTok, but primarily Reels and TikTok, just because the organic reach, right, is just amazing right now. I think too, right, as I work with agents, and again, if someone's familiar with the platform, this is like, you know, second nature. But for those that aren't, some will try to start off with like an introduction and kind of slow go into it. But the key is just getting right into it. Like, hey, let's just get right in, because nobody's, as they're scrolling, they want to get to the point, you know. And so little things like that. So this is for Reels and TikTok, and she's one example, but there's even another. I got another agent that I was working with, and his first 6-7 videos got 10,000 impressions, you know. And so that's just the organic reach that we all know isn't going to be there always, but while it's here, it doesn't hurt to take advantage of it.
Yeah. So as you know, as we sum up, you know, this conversation, I'm walking away. Right? as we sum up this conversation, what would you, as you take a couple tips from your top performers on video, the top agents that you see, real estate agents specifically?
Yep.
How often? What's the cadence? Right, the frequency of posting video like this, and just best practices that you're seeing that's hitting well.
I think as far as cadence, I mean, as much as possible, right, is obviously always going to be the answer on social media. But realistically, you know, the agents that are getting traction are at least posting weekly, for instance, on like a longer form platform like YouTube. For the shorter form, you know, again, as much as like everyone, the gurus and everyone say, hey, 4 times a day, 3. Like if you can do that, do it. But at minimum, what I encourage the agents that I work with is like at minimum Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like, and so we'll get together, and just like me and Brian, we just did this morning, we did 6 videos relatively quickly. It's really easy. In about 2 hours time, we can knock out 12 to 24 short form videos so that you can be posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Reels.
Yeah, and also, right, newsletters, right? So
Yeah.
we can also go to that,
Which is another bucket, yeah.
Another bucket where we actually have a script. So for instance, today, anyone that wants to shoot a video today, we've got 4 different scripts that you can shoot on what's happening in the market, what's going on with sellers, literally things that you don't even show up, record. We've got a teleprompter, and you can literally just read it off. There's graphic overlays, the edits. I love the fact that you got captions here. So if somebody is watching a video when they shouldn't be watching, they don't have to turn up the volume, right? And they can read what's going on. And so just more engagement overall. So anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, I think the one final thing that I want to say is there's no shortage of like social media advice online, you know, as far as tactics and all that. But I think what we have chosen to really focus on, and we talk about this a lot, is how good is the actual piece of content? You know, I think that when you make a video, it's important that, you know, should people care about what you're saying? And I think that if you're self-aware and you can kind of judge yourself on that, great. But I think having a team, that's where it gets helpful, because then you have somebody that gives you an outside perspective and can kind of help you through that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that outside perspective. So, you know, by the way, this is the start. So, you know, we've got sessions, another session going on the 22nd, if you weren't prepared to shoot today. And then every single month, we're going to be having the crew here to shoot and set us up as well. I'm gonna shoot no matter what. Right? Right. If it's me and Josh shooting all day, like we've done it and we will do it. I'll go back to that, no problem. And this is for you. Take advantage of it because I don't know, too many offices doing this and setting this up in this way, isn't a cost-effective manner for the quality offered. So and the ease of use. So Mauricio, did you have a question?
Yes. What will be the eventual dynamic for us to work with you?
Yeah, so that's what I'm really excited about. I mean, for here, I mean, anybody who knows video production, video can get expensive, especially with real professional gear. So the arrangement right now, which we're piloting here, right, is $150 per video, which is like unheard of.
The cost of a headshot, people.
Yeah, like legitimately 100. And then if you order 4 or more, okay, like let's say you come and you say, hey, I want to do 5 videos. And I'll help with all of those. We'll help with all of the subjects if you need help with. It then drops to 100 per video. And this includes everything. We're shooting it, we're coaching you through it, we're editing it for you. So like I said, this is a pilot. I'm really excited about doing it here. And me, just because of how well I know the video production world, I mean, 150 or $100 per video is like next to nothing.
Legitimately. And because I know how much I've invested over it, right, to get this here. And as a result of that, knowing that we want more people to take advantage, I'm like, okay, what is it that we need to do as an office to bring this in? Now, here's the thing. We don't use it, we lose it. That's it, right? So it's very simple. If we're not getting takers and if we're not willing to step outside of our comfort zone and get behind the camera, knowing that 73% of sellers are more likely to use an agent with video who uses video. Now, and also your crew is the crew behind our complimentary videography and listing and drone photography. So not only do they do what's going on right behind or in front of the camera for your, direct to consumer, they'll also help you with your photography for your listings as well. So that costs you nothing as you're part of our office here. If you take a listing today, Jason, your team has used this pretty well. How's it been at the end of the day? And how much did you have to pay? Right. So for those, that level of offering, I mean, for video, for drone photography, listing photography, 3D Matterport, I mean, easily that's a 600, 650 plus package that your office is not offering, is offering at no cost. And, the simple ask is, hey, just use your in-house services, right? Tri-Valley, we can't twist your arm. If you use it, great. And you don't use escrow, it's up to you. However, use our in-house escrow. That's how we're able to bring more of these offerings. It started with that. Now we're here. Now we're looking at, okay, where else can we take this thing? So
Absolutely. No.
Any other questions? Amy? Yeah, so that's the 3D rendering of the home, right? The dollhouse view where literally, and if you'll explain it better.
Yeah, like on Zillow or Redford, like when you actually go and you can feel like you're walking through the house, and you can actually with your mouse control where you go into the house. Yeah. That's the 3D Matterport. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, the 3D rendering of the inside of the property. Yeah.
So you record one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And post it. Can you document at the same time the same video?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So the question was, if you shot a video, can you post it to all of your social media? Yeah.
Yeah, you can. What I would recommend, right, is that, is understanding the platform, right? Some pieces of content are better suited, right, for a certain. So let me give you an example. If we make a TikTok type video, right, that would be, I would say, let's put it on Reels. Let's put it on YouTube Shorts. If you put it on LinkedIn or if you put it on, YouTube, the regular, it'd be a little different, right? And so, but I think part of that is there a way that we could make, here's my goal as I work with agents. How do we stretch the dollar to give you the most value possible with what we have here? Okay. And so I think that's the key, is to leverage the infrastructure here and to make your dollar stretch. And that's what we can help with.
And that's what happens when, with our partnership is we're leveraging each other, and you're leveraging us to help you facilitate your real estate business at the highest level possible. And we're leveraging you to to do more sales, right, and expand our market share overall. So that's what a partnership entails. You leverage us, we leverage you, and we win together. We help you, we help bolster your weaknesses and magnify your strengths. And the same thing that you do for us, it's a win-win scenario.
And if I could, just one final comment on my side is again, with this being a pilot program that we're excited about, you know, I definitely am open to thoughts, opinions, feedback as anybody takes advantage of the service. Here's what I'm excited about. What if this whole office, everybody was doing posts Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every single week consistently? Like, what would that do for production long term? Like, I'm curious to see that. This is why this is a pilot program, right? And me and Brian have talked a lot about being excited and what we think this could do, but obviously we're trying it out here, right? And so that's why I think it's a two-way street where, of course, I'm going to give the recommendations from my experience, but at the same time, from a user experience, we're very interested too in hearing what you all have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Well said. And I think there might be a question here in the chat. Let me double check on that. I also have a video that I may share that I haven't posted yet. And Josh, you'll laugh a little bit if I share this. And so give me a second if I can find it. Amy, any updates that we can share with the office in the meantime while I pull this up? Yeah, by all means, go for it. Let me give you and then we'll close out with this. Yeah, it's acting up. So there you go.
Okay. Well, my update is regarding commissions in command. Shocker, I know. But you know, we all really care about you guys. We know you work hard and we want to pay you as quickly as possible. So that being said, there's a system, and the system is in place so that A, we can manage the workload and get that done quickly, and B, so that you know exactly what to expect. So I'm teaching a class on it on tomorrow at 11. Marcus and Sandy reinforce that. And just know that Parvin and I'm just speaking from experience, we can cut checks based on what information you give us. So when you're submitting your commission information, make sure you have everything in there: outside referrals, TC, team splits, all of that. The expectation of us remembering with 200 agents is just not realistic. So please submit your information correctly. We understand that, you know, things come up, changes happen. That's understandable, but we've noticed a consistent pattern of just completely inaccurate data. And it's very difficult to, you know, turn that around quickly when there's so many different changes. So that's what I have to say. So if you need a refresher or you need some help with that, reach out. I mean, I've created a step-by-step. All of it is in the Agent Resource Center on Google Drive. And I'm going to show you in the class tomorrow, you know, how to do that. I'll walk it through in command. So hopefully that'll help expedite everything and, you know, make it easier on everyone. So.
Sponsor for today. The elite group, where are you? So we are going to welcome up our elite group liaison, Raquel. She's going to share a little bit about some updates for elite group and let us know where we can find lunch.
Absolutely.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. How you doing? Good, good, good. So if you don't know, you will know now. My name is Raquel Garcia. I'm your territory manager for the Elite Group Property Inspection Company. We do residential, we do commercial, we do sewer, termite, roof certs with roof inspections with certifications that are transferable through your clients. And also sewer lines. Sewer lines is a big one. So we're kind of your one-stop shop place to go. Okay, make it super easy on you. These are our flyers, our brochures. We've been, if you don't already know, we've been in business since 1984. Started out with the 2 inspectors. They're now sitting on the board of directors, and we're over 112 employees. We have 92 inspectors that are all CAR certified. California Association of Realtors requires that they do a background check, a federal background check on each and every one of our inspectors for misdemeanors and felonies. So we want to make sure that we bring that safety value to you and your clients in their homes. They're also checked to make sure that they have proper insurance. We have $1 million in E&O insurance. We also have $1 million in workman's comp insurance. So very, very important that any of your clients, whomever they choose, that they are both certified and insured. Okay, 78% of litigations in a year are real estate, litigation, and so just make sure that you've got the proper coverage for you. I have a question though. Does anybody know when the proper time is to do your agent visual inspection disclosure? As a buyer's agent, you're avid. Does anybody know? As soon as possible. I like that. But even more importantly, from our perspective, and our belief is that to get it done before the home inspection, okay? Before, not after and not during, okay? But you guys remember that you're agents, you're not inspectors. You get to do a visual inspection. Use your senses, of course. If you smell an odor, you're using all your senses, but don't get particular. Don't diagnose, okay? Very important. It's not, small, it's not large, it's not this or that. It's a crack in the wall, in the south facing wall, exterior south facing wall, a body of water. It's not poor drainage, you don't know. That's diagnosing, right? Okay, super cool. Yeah, question. Sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. You mean when you're saying me, you mean elite? Or me, myself, elite? You call elite, the elite group. Okay, yeah, I know that some of our ancillary inspections, so that's what we call ancillary, okay? Termite, sewer, roof, and mold, okay? So that's an addition to the home inspection. Sometimes we have an issue with termite, very rarely, but sometimes we do have to outsource. I'm sorry if you did have to go to somebody else and do it yourself, but that sometimes happens. If you'd like, just contact me directly. And I have my marketing coordinator. She does all my, sets up all the inspections. She will directly reach out to you. Her name's Mandy. She's really good. Sure, I can do that. Sure, yeah, absolutely. You can use me. Yeah, I know exactly where to go. Yeah, and when in doubt, call Raquel. Let's see. Well, another thing I wanted to also explain to you is our repair pricer. It went from $100 to $75. Okay, so what this does is we for $75, or if it's added inside of the Elite Plus package, this information on your summary page will go to a third party, and then they have a whole system of getting you the closest accurate, like approximate cost of repairs on that summary page, and it just makes it easier, and it's all itemized. Okay, it's not just one big lump sum of how much they project it to cost. Just another way that we're just trying to make it a little easier on you guys. And for $75, I mean, who wants to call all these different people, find out, what do you charge? What do you charge? What do you charge? Are you licensed? Are you insured? Blah, blah, blah. So anyways, but for this report, indeed. Yeah. So yeah, please use me as a point of contact. Okay, if there's something that I don't know, then I will absolutely make sure that I get you the answer that you need. This also, guys, is we like to give this to your clients at the end of the inspection. It's a home maintenance manual. I'm going to leave this here so you guys can take a look at it. I also they get an iron emergency shutoff tool for their larger, like the gas meter and stuff in the water. So we kind of like to look good like that. We like you guys to look good. Also, reports are always within 24 hours. They're back there to you. Given that the agreement signed and it's paid, it should be shooting on over to you. Usually it gets there within the same day, like that night. Okay, but maybe won't be in your inbox until maybe the following morning, because they come home and they do their reports and then upload them. So anyways, I want to commend each and every one of you guys, because the energy, I went to a NAREP, National Association Hispanic Real Estate Professional. They had a panel of all their top producers, and all of them spoke about the knowledge that they continually, absorb, and they're just on it, and their positivity and their focus and their discipline, their daily things that they need to do. That's all they're talking about, all of that. So, and when I see you guys here in class and just like learning and absorbing, you guys are rock stars. You're not just great, you guys are elite. So I commend you guys and thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh man.
You are all elite.
Thank you. All right, hey, I'm gonna end on this note. So just a quick reminder on why we should be using video. So this is on Google Drive. Raininess, then it's because it's being streamed. So it's better, obviously, is when it's downloaded to your computer. So, all right, here we are. Just a quick reminder: make videos.
I want you to show them a great video. Utilizing videos allows you to, meaning, get yourself out there and explain who you are and what you do, and most importantly, why in the you do it. Like this, a normal post and picture or written content wouldn't allow me to make the point that I'm actually making. Video where I'm coming from. Now, go shoot a video and express yourself today. Passion. That's how you're going to stand out from all the rest of these boring.
Brian went on to record 6 minutes. Go out and shoot some videos. Gotta have fun with it, everybody. All right, with that being said, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for being here. And don't forget, June 23rd, MREI event. Everybody be great. Reminder, shoot some videos. My pleasure. Thank you.